There's a couple of new games which came out this December, including Legacy of Kain, Indiana Jones, and of course, Marvel Rivals. But there's also this one other game that was released in the same month. Have you heard of this game before? It's called
Antonblast.
Do you know you're dealing with?
I'm afraid I know exactly who I'm dealing with, Antoine.
This game is crazy, stylish, and funny. Antonblast takes the dynamic gameplay inspired by Wario Land 4, Crash Bandicoot, and Sonic CD. So what's so great about Antonblast? How does this stand out among other indie platformer games, and why do people like it? Before this, we gotta go back in time to truly understand when this game came about.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Summitsphere was founded by Tony Grayson, your average coder whose first public video game would be out 3 years after the game studio's initial founding. The company then releases Annalyn, which follows a style of arcade games from the early 80s. A few months later, Antonblast Deluxe is released to the public, where Dynamite Anton and Annie first made their appearances. What's that? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. As well as a light version of the final video game, only for it to be delisted from Steam because it didn't meet their quality standards. But Antonblast Deluxe still lives on. Okay, between this and that, Summitsphere started a Kickstarter to a new project known to be Antonblast. This game was entirely different to its first game of the series, taking the heavy focus of the pinball element out in favor for a chaotic Wario Land inspired game. And now, in the present year, Antonblast is finally out. The plot focuses on Dynamite Anton being robbed by the devil himself because he happens to be the reddest being on and/or in the planet, which snaps the devil to robbing Anton's alcohol with moles. Anton is mad, and alongside Dynamite Annie and his casino owner/best friend Brulo,
No! God damn it, Anton! What the hell are you doing here?
goes off into an adventure to retrieve his stolen goods of alcohol. The levels are just right, they're all unique to one another and explore the possible creativity and boundaries which this game has to offer. Take for instance this level, Concrete Jungle. I mean, look at him go. Or Crimson Factory, where Anton is escaping a giant evil robot. We don't talk about this one. Also, Anton can jump between different lanes. Wow! You also need to find collectibles like cassette tapes, random objects, and spray cans, which, when finding one, allows you to customize your character's color palette. But you know, some of these are quite familiar. Not only are some portions of the levels quick and snappy, but in every single level, there is a moment of finding the detonator, and upon stepping on it, you've suddenly activated. The game includes escape segments, where you need to escape the place as it collapses around you. They do get crazier and more challenging as well. We've been talking about the levels a lot, but what about the Dynamite Man himself? Anton has a couple of cool moves that he brings to the table, including dashing, bashing, sliding, rolling, more bashing, and this. Did you know that originally his slam was going to involve his hammer, but the developers at Summitsphere said, yup, that's lame, and just scratched the whole thing and replaced it with him using his face? What's that? Anton has one more move? If you press the control button on your keyboard, I don't know what the button is for controller, you can scream to your heart's content and push foes around you. That's pretty cool. He also has different transformations for most of the levels, with them having different functions to change the gameplay. Like this ability, where he turns into a ball and is then thrown around in an arcade pinball machine. Or this ability, where he goes full mech and destroys everything. Okay, so what about Dynamite Annie, Anton's partner in crime? Same moves as well, the only significant difference is her interactions with the devil, who expects Anton instead of Annie.
Oh, good, you're here. I was beginning to wonder if you'd ever show. Oh, hello, Red Guy. Huh? Who are you?
I was wondering the same thing.
Speaking of which, Satan also throws in a couple of For every 1 or 2 levels you complete, you unlock a boss fight. They are pretty challenging. Kinda reminds me of Cuphead and... oh. Each boss in this game are all incredibly well thought and creative. I mean, look at this boss here. Okay, ignore the name, but look at this gameplay. A 2D pixelated platformer game, merging with 3D, or even this giant bell which transforms into some biblical accurate angel. And to top it all off, an upbeat and awesome tune to go with these boss fights. They do get more incredibly difficult as you progress. The final boss alone is probably the most difficult one. 2 hours of my time spent trying to beat the devil because I kept dying every single time. That's all I've got to say for this game. Overall, it's super fun and entertaining to play, and I recommend this game to anyone who likes fast-paced platformer games with an 80s retro twist, or somebody who wants to try something new and fresh for a change. Definitely a game worth trying out. Oh yeah, you can also purchase goods from Brulo, which is why he's there in the first place.